You might want to move to China in the near future, but still, you don't know whether it's affordable, whether it's expensive, and you know nothing about this country because it's quite mysterious in the West. Well, I will tell you something. I've lived in China. I've studied there, I worked there, so I have the answer for you. So today I'm gonna give you a breakdown of how much does it cost to live in a big city like Shanghai or Beijing. I'm gonna give you an average price for food, for accommodation, for internet, for transportation, for clothes, for literally everything that you might want to know. And then at the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you how much you might need on average for living 1 month in China. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with the first category, which is housing. And I know that rent is so expensive in big cities like New York, London, Dubai, because I lived in Dubai, and let me tell you, although Dubai is cheaper than New York and London, it's still quite expensive. So how much is the rent in a big city of 25 million inhabitants like Shanghai? Well, it depends. If you want to share your apartment or if you want to live in a dormitory, let's say you're there to learn Chinese for 1 semester and you're living in a dormitory, you might pay $250 per month. Yes, you heard that correct. $250 for a shared apartment. Whereas if you want your own privacy and you want to stay alone, you're like me, you don't like staying with other people, you might pay from $700 a month for a small studio of around 35 square meters to up to, I don't know, maybe $1,000. And also guys, I'm preparing a new video with the cost of living in Hong Kong. So stay tuned, because living in Hong Kong, although it's in China, oh my gosh, the prices are different, so you're gonna see that. Okay, now let's talk about category number 2, which is transportation. Alessia, how much does it cost to take a taxi in Shanghai, or maybe to, I don't know, take a bus? Well, I will tell you, if you need to take a taxi, it will cost you around $1 or $2 for 20 minutes in the taxi. Yes, $1 or $2. Of course, the price depends on whether it's night, on whether it's, you know, during the day. And the metro, you can take the metro for only 20 cents in Shanghai. Yeah, 20 cents. In London, it's like more than $5. And not only is expensive, it's also very old, very smelly, very bad, and most of the time doesn't even work. Instead, in Shanghai, you have everything new, everything is very functional. You literally live in the future. Okay, now let's talk about category number 3, which is food. Now, I must say that while I was living in China, I was ordering a lot. Yes, I don't like to cook, so if you like to cook, you might be spending less. But I was spending around $200 a month. Again, it's nothing compared to, I don't know, Dubai, where you might have to spend much more. In China, it's super convenient to order food at home. You've got such a big variety of restaurants. While, for example, if you live in Dubai, again, I'm giving a comparison with Dubai because I was living there. I cannot tell you much about other cities because maybe I've been there, but I've never lived there. Delivery food is available everywhere, but the vast choice that you have in China is exactly nowhere else in the world. So of course, like if I was spending around $200 per month, you might spend more than me because maybe you might like to go to more expensive places, or you might even spend less than me if you like to cook. And of course, I cannot finish talking about this category without talking about coffee, because coffee is something that everybody consumes. And yes, Starbucks might have the same cost of the Starbucks that you get in America. However, you know that Chinese people love to create and to start businesses and to copy others. So they have invented Luckin Coffee. After Starbucks, of course, Luckin Coffee was born in China, and you can grab a coffee with $1. Okay, of course, like you might find more expensive coffee like $2, $3, but with $1, most of the time you can grab coffee in China. Next category is clothes. Now, if you don't want to spend too much money on clothes because maybe you're too broke, you can go on Taobao and you can literally get so many things for such a cheap price. However, I must say that I don't like Taobao for clothes. For other things, yes, like I will buy anything but no clothes. Why is it? Because I'm tall, I'm 175 centimeters, and obviously there are not many Chinese girls who are so tall. So for me, it's a problem to buy shoes in China and to buy clothes in general, okay? So if you're tall like me, you might want to get clothes in your country. However, if you go to Zara or H&M, you're definitely going to find your size, so you don't have to worry about this. I'm just talking about Taobao. Taobao is wonderful for so many things. For clothes, yes and no, also because the quality is not really there for clothes. So I wouldn't advise you to buy clothes on Taobao, although many people do this, okay? If you are a man, then you don't have to worry because there are also like so many Chinese guys who are tall, okay? Most of them are gonna be short, but some of them they're tall, so they have your size, don't worry. Okay, next one is your phone plan. So let's say you go to China, and of course, like if you're gonna live there for a few months, you're gonna need a phone plan, and internet is not that expensive. It's gonna be from $7 up to $28, might be even more if you want some special plan, but literally with $28, like you can get a lot of gigas. You're gonna live comfortably with that. And of course, one expense that you should think about is VPN, because unfortunately, you cannot use Instagram, Facebook, YouTube freely in China. You might have heard of this. And honestly, like sometimes it's good because you just, like this thing gives you a rest from social media. Like sometimes it's not even that good to stay always on social media. However, you might want to get in touch with your family, so you might need social media. That's why you might need a VPN. Now, should I recommend you a VPN? Absolutely not, because VPN, today they work, tomorrow they don't work anymore. It has happened so many times. What I know is that, like, for example, 9 years ago, when I went to China for the first time, I was using a free VPN. It was working quite decently. And a few months ago, when I went to China, I had to use a paid VPN because otherwise I could not get around with free VPN. So it might cost around $7 a month. It's not a lot. Definitely there are like more expensive plans based on how many people are gonna use the VPN and based on whether you want to change location for the VPN, Anyways, I'm not gonna talk about this too much. Maybe I'm gonna make a separate video about this. And lastly, if you want to do any sports, so if you want to go to the gym or you want to do any sports, you have a big variety in China. Nevertheless, I would say that going for sports in China is not as cheap as other things. I guess like so many things are cheap in China except gyms, I would say, okay? So you might find like a gym membership for $30, which is still not expensive compared to many other cities, but it's not very, very cheap. Like it could be cheaper since there are so many cheap things in China. Anyways, $30, $40, you can manage for a 1 month membership at the gym. You could also find a lot of clubs where people do sports together, and that is for free. So you can just get creative. You get on Xiaohongshu and you find so many people that want to hang out with you because you might probably have a face like mine, like a Western face. So they will be more than happy to hang out with you. And yeah, this is everything for today's video. Make sure to subscribe if you like this video. If you want to learn Chinese, I'm teaching you Chinese here on this channel. And yes, let's go watch this video and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.